Figures. As soon as I try and start at the show, something gets borked. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the ModMyMods news update. Thanks for being here. I know you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me on this Friday afternoon. It is the 28th of August, and that means people are going back to school. I'm not, but we gotta send the kids to school and stuff like that, right? Well, as long as the whole virus doesn't make anything any worse. But again, thanks for being here on the show today. Maven and My67, thank you for being here. It's funny is that I'm using the whole restream thing to make sure that it gets broadcast everywhere and everyone and their mom can see it. But the funny part is that Twitch is the only one that's giving me chat responses, but yet shows that it's not streaming there. So, not really sure what the heck's going on. But hey, we're gonna run with it, right? We're gonna run with it. Oh, Captain, not Nancy. Thanks for being here, boss. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So today, a little bit of news, a little bit of fun talking back and forth, and then maybe we'll play a little flight sim. Who knows? But without further ado, let's see what's going on in the wonderful world of Chrome. Today, this afternoon, I was floating through and I saw Cherry MX, who we've been working with hand in hand to help out Chili Mountain. They are a gaming group, a actually rather large gaming group that has a 5 versus 5 competition going on for Valorant. So if you and the squad think you guys can win, or you want to try and win, or whatever, they're going to actually they're giving everybody an opportunity to play. If you have a squad of 5, you can join. If you go to the Chili Mountain Instagram page, they're actually also doing a giveaway, which we have helped contribute to as well. But you can also win some pretty cool prizes during this Valorant tournament. So if you go to the Chili Mountain, just one word, Instagram page, you go to their link tree here, which will bring you to this, and you can click on the Valorant tourney that's on 8/29, which is tomorrow, so you don't have very long to enter. But if you want to, this is there's wow, holy cow, there's 33 teams registered. Pardon my French, but holy shit, that's a lot of teams. 33 times 5. That's a lot. I can't do quick math like that, but that's a lot of people playing. Holy cow! So congrats to them in Chili Mountain having a bunch of teams registered. Hopefully they'll be able to get through everything. But they actually they do have some prizes that are from us. So if you are one of the winning teams, you could win a keyboard, a mouse pad, an Icebear 240, which is the all-in-one cooler, some stickers, some bottle openers, hats, all sorts of cool stuff. So first and second place do get products, and they do get some sort of prize. So good luck to everybody that's taking part in that. That should be a relatively cool event. I'm gonna see if I can possibly pop in there tomorrow afternoon at some point, and during the evening or something like that. We are actually wrapping up a Madden tournament that's at a local establishment, the Player Zone, tomorrow. So we will be wrapping that up as well. So it'll be kind of hit or miss if we can get there or not. But regardless, if you have the opportunity, you want to play some Valorant, you want to participate in this tournament, definitely register ASAP. So, again, that's what I found from Cherry when I was just scrolling through, and Chili's been great to work with. They've got 2 hosts that'll be on there. You got Sid Kitten and Tony Funks, who are actually really awesome Twitch streamers and do some pretty cool stuff. So we've worked with them, and they will be part of this giveaway and the tournament. So, speaking of giveaways, we actually still are having the Lian Lee Strimmer Plus giveaway, the 24-pin. You've got 3 days left to enter, which would be pretty cool. If you want to add a little bit more RGB into your system and haven't entered to win yet, you can go to, obviously, just our web page here, and it's the first little banner that comes scrolling across your screen. And then if you follow us on Twitch and Twitter, those are 2 different entries that you can get. But luckily, and lo and behold, that was actually down to 4,800, I think, on Tuesday. So more people have definitely submitted. So if you want to, again, have a chance at winning one of those, you can enter to win. And hey, speak of the devil, Sid Kitten, hanging out with us in the chat. Thanks again for being here, Sid. Appreciate it. I'm glad that glad USPS decided to find the UPS box for you. She finally got off her rear end and went and looked for it, and magic, there's the box. Yeah, I don't know. Sid and I have been going back and forth trying to find this silly box that we sent her that had all the goodies for the tournament in it, and, you know, they were giving her the runaround. Run around, I run around, trying to find that stupid box. So, but if you guys do enter to play that Valorant tournament, you can win some pretty cool stuff. Or if you don't want to play the Valorant tournament and just try and win something, you can go to our webpage. Again, we got the 24-pin Streamer Plus. That's the digital RGB one that does all of the craziness in it. So if you like the RGB rainbowness, have at it. You have a chance to win. One thing that I did see in the news today, the RTX 3 series, the 3000 cards, the specs were supposedly kind of leaked. Now, these are ideal specs, you know. I mean, not every card is going to have the same amount per se. However, this is a baseline for what the cards are going to have. So the 3090 is going to have 5200 frickin' CUDA cores, which is unruly. Like, that is just, oh my god. It has 24 gigs of GDDR6, and can do the memory bandwidth is just incredible. Now, will they still do SLI? You know what? That funny that you're asking that, because the next photo I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about that. So between the 3090, 3080, and the 3070, it doesn't seem like there's a whole heck of a lot. Obviously, gigabytes of video memory that's going to be on the actual card is the difference. But it does seem like, you know, obviously when you step down in, thanks. When you step down in the series in the card, you obviously drop a little bit of the CUDA cores and everything like that. That's kind of to be expected. However, I'm interested to see what the size differences between the 3090, 3080, and 3070 are. Just for the simple fact that obviously if it's only 8 gigs, you're not gonna need all 3 slots. And the reason that I bring that up is because this is the photo that I had found. Now, who knows if this actually is a real card yet? It's all speculation. Obviously, I got it from magplanet.com, so who the hell actually knows if that's a reliable source or anything like that. But this is the photo that has been floating around of the new cards. And the size comparison from the old cards to the new cards is just like supposedly that's the size. Now, I understand that it's bigger, but if you look at where the PCI slot is in relation to the PCI slot on the 2080, yes, it is bigger, but it's only going to be bigger lengthwise going out forward, obviously, towards the front of the case, which can pose a lot of problems, especially for people that are limited on their size and their shape when it comes to graphics cards inside of the case. I know that some cases, if they have like a power supply shroud and they have radiator in the front and everything like that, there's no way in hell that's going to fit. And I'm pretty sure, because this is supposedly the 3080, who knows, it could be the 3090, but it is, if you look at the end here, it's a 3-slot PCI card. So yeah, there's that. So that's a big bad mamma jamma. Which they do still have 3-slot cards now that are the 20 series, like the 2080 Super, I think, from EVGA, or the 2070 Super. You know, is still 3-slot, but again, once you slap a water block on there, how's that actually going to work? Because the new cards are actually whoops, Jesus, my arm's attacking the other arm. Because there's a chip on one side, a GPU on the other side, and then a subprocessor on the back side of it, the water blocks are going to have to be, well, the top is obviously going to have to be a full coverage water block. And then the back is not just going to be backplate anymore, is what I would have to assume, right? You're going to have to take into consideration that the back has an actual CPU chip on it. So how the heck are they going to run water to it if they are? or if they're gonna, passively cool it with the backplate. Who knows? Who knows? Mr. Kalen Saffler. I always call you Schaefer for some reason. I don't know why. Mr. Envious Mods himself is also here with us. I appreciate you being here, Caitlin. Jesus, Kalen. I posted pictures a long time ago, and people said it was fan rendering. LOL, it happens every time I post something before it's released. Well, yeah, of course. Everybody thinks that nothing's real anymore, and everything is just photoshopped, right? But I don't know. Again, I can't believe this. I don't know if that's real until I actually have one in my hands, but there have been some pretty damn funny memes that have come out because of this. First one is this. Installing a 3090 be like this. Like you're putting in a radiator in your car, which if anyone knows, working on a car, a radiator's usually the size of the front half of the vehicle, like stretch-wise. So, yeah, there's that. Again, if it's going to be a 3-slot and it's going to be massive like that, that's pretty much how I'm going to feel installing it. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty spot on. From our friends over at thinkcomputers.org. Again, they do some pretty funny stuff. And then as well as Pedro from PCMR, he's like, well, I'm ready for the 3090. Are you? And, well, of course, yeah, we are. We got our 1600 watt big bad mamma jamma ready to throw in there. So definitely going to need some more power when you're talking about getting these new 3000 series cards. You're also going to need a lot of space. Oh, Tony Funks, the man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, man. We were talking about Chili. Oh, and Chili Mountain's here, too. We were talking about the Valorant tournament not too long ago, right at the beginning of the stream. We were talking about how you guys are doing it this weekend and to definitely be a part of it. I will hopefully be able to take a look at the link again later in the stream. So again, if you're going to do a 3000 series card, you're going to need some more power, you're going to need some more space, and you're probably going to need a new CPU because the CPU is just going to do unbelievable amounts of hustling trying to keep up with that card. So our hearts and prayers and thoughts and concerns and complaints and everything like that. Everybody, we're hoping that everybody is safe down south with the Hurricane Laura that has been going on. Now it has been classified as it's a tropical storm, or it's a weather. What the hell are they calling it? I'm no meteorologist. I should probably know this a little bit better, but we hope everybody is safe down there. All of our partners in the South and all of our friends and family like that. If there's something that we can possibly do to help you guys out, let us know. But the hurricane has now hit land and moved inward and is now turned into a tropical depression. Yes, I knew I'd come up with it. Tropical depression, that's what it's called. And the cool part about this is that they've got satellite shots of Hurricane Laura on NASA's website, which I find tracking storms to be incredible. But the really, really cool part, I think you guys all know that I'm really big into Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff. So what they actually did, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is based off of real-world graphics and real-world traffic, you could fly over or around or through Hurricane Laura as it was coming through onto land. Unbelievable experience. Did it last night. Freaking crazy. The turbulence and everything like that was just nuts. It was unbelievable. But I wanted to show and share some of the photos that I saw posted, because I wasn't smart enough to actually take my own screenshots while we were doing it, which was stupid. But yes, did you go through the eyeball? Yes, absolutely. I was a little worried about it because I went up in a just like a private air, like a G8 type of plane, and I went blasting through it, and it was so crazy to just turbulence, and then it just super smooth, and then turbulence again, and then that's where I pretty much took off and did a pretty nasty 45-degree bank and pulled up and went as fast as I could out of there, because it's unbelievable to see how well they've actually done with this simulator, and on top of the fact that they're actually able to replicate the different types of weather that are actually in real life. Last night I took off, it was raining like later in the evening, and it was coming down pretty good, so load up Flight Simulator and boom, it's raining, crosswinds, at 20 knots or whatever, coming from the northeast, and it was just really, really cool to see how they've implemented all of this into the actual Flight Simulator. So I think I've got the case and the motherboard for that card. I only have an 850 watt power supply. Okay, so 850 watt power supply might work depending on which card you have and which CPU you have. I know the Threadripper, I think, has a 250 watt pull. It can go up higher when it's under a boost clock too, so like if you're overclocking it. So if you end up having it overclocked a little bit and your RAM is overclocked and stuff like that, you could be pulling probably 400 or 450 from the CPU and the RAM. So depending on which card you get, I think I just closed the window, but the 3000 series cards pull roughly 350 watts under full load. So depending on how much other stuff you got inside of that case, 850 might not necessarily be enough. Again, depending on what chip and which RAM and hardware and stuff like that you're running. But they do have a recommended power rating somewhere. But again, I wouldn't trust anything until I actually see the card myself. So, EK says they'll have a water block ready at or near the launch. Yes, I saw that as well, Captain. They do. They're supposed to have a block pretty much immediately. But again, I don't know. Don't know until the card's released. We're supposed to know, what was it, on the 17th? 17th or the 18th? So once we know from NVIDIA what's going on with the cards, then I'm sure the people that make the water blocks will know too. Alpha Cool says they're ready too. Yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. EK, maybe. Alpha Cool, maybe. Maybe. That's a hot maybe. Should have done it in a Cessna 182. Yeah, no way, man. No way. No way. Not happening. Alright, so what did you do here? Our good friend Mirror is pretty much what I say every time I see him. Did a mod to his case here, and he was trying to share it with me so I would share it on the stream here, and I'm honestly not sure. Let me know if you see it. Oh, I see it. Yeah, the mesh panels are all gone. Good. Yeah, get that crap out of there. You don't need that. You're gonna, clean it every couple days anyways, right? So, yeah, no, definitely very, very cool. I like that. I like that you cleaned that right out and pulled that out. Nice work there. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, it's a 570X. Totally understand now. Yeah, Corsair cases are notorious for being airlocked and not great, period. Let's just go with that. I mean, they haven't really made a great case since, the 800D. And even that case wasn't all that great, but what are you going to do? Oh, Mr. ModMyMods. Madman Mods. Mod. Yeah, you got it. David, Mr. No, appreciate you being here. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about some little things here and there. Our friend Mirror, as you would say, cut some panels out and pulled the dust filters out of this 570X, thank God. And hopefully we got some more stuff that you can share with me in a little bit here. Oh my God! Enough with the phone! Don't you hate that? You forget to silence it before you start a stream, and then it just starts blowing up like it's the 4th of July. Anyways, so back to what I was talking about with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, if you had the opportunity to fly through Hurricane Laura during its time, it was pretty awesome. Again, if you can't, well, it stinks because it's based on time and real life weather and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I went to go fly through it again this evening. This afternoon with you guys here, because I was like, okay, well, I'll just take off and I'll go, hauling ass all the way over there, get there, and then I'll pause the game. That way, when the stream happens, I can share it with everybody. Well, yeah, no, that didn't really work. Tropical depression does not nearly look as good as the actual hurricane itself. But again, I wanted to share some of the photos and stuff like that. It was just unbelievable. So I went to PC Gamer. I found that they had some of the photos and stuff like that. But they also had a video of it too, where a guy does fly through with a Cessna. I think it's a 182. Not entirely sure. I wouldn't have done this myself. Again, I wanted a jet that actually had some sort of thrust to it. That way, if we did get into the shit, you'd be okay and able to get out of there. So, let's see here. Said my mom always calls me when I'm streaming facepalm. Yeah, I know, and it happens, right? It always happens. You get important phone calls when you start going, and you really get into it, and then you get even more important phone calls, and then it's just all downhill from there. But so this video of obviously of him flying straight through the middle of this thing. No, that's not a Cessna. That's not a 183 or a 182. No way. That's more modern. Cirrus, yeah, that's what it is. See, I'm not as familiar with my prop planes as I should be. I know the TBM. I know and then I know my jets. That's where I go. I like propulsion. Turbines. But yeah, again, couldn't see anything. Couldn't do anything really other than fly mostly straight. If you tried to bank and whatnot, the whole plane would start rocking all over the place. But again, really, really cool to be able to actually fly through it and fly around, the actual hurricane and stuff like that. Well, obviously without being hurt, because doing that in real life would be a terrible idea. Now, if you're part of one of the airplane people that work for NOAA, I think that you guys are amazing people and you have bigger balls than I do, because there's no way in hell I'd be on that plane. No thanks. No, I'm good. All set. But you guys doing a fabulous job, providing us with real-time weather information and predictions and estimates of where everything is going. So we really appreciate what you guys do for us. But it's pretty neat, yeah. Again, this video was pretty awesome to see, and obviously the sun's starting to go down and stuff like that. So pretty neat stuff. So if there's another big weather event and you're comfortable with flying through it, I would recommend doing it through Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's pretty dope, pretty cool. Speaking of things to improve your fun with Microsoft Flight Simulator, Thrustmaster is coming out with the TCA Officer Pack for the Airbus. Again, I'm a huge fan of flying airplanes and airliners and jets and stuff like that, and this is actually a pretty amazing looking little system. It has the dual throttle system. It also has the engine engages, running switches, as well as all sorts of buttons on top and on the side of the actual throttle, or the actual joystick itself. It has the hat on top for you to be able to look around. It has the red is usually the comms button, especially at least on the stick, depending on which jet you're flying. And then for the thrust, the red on the side. Actually, no, the red on the back there is not for reverse thrust, but that's what you have the lever there for. You're supposed to be able to pull up the lever and then pull back on the thruster, and that should throw it back into reverse thrust for when you're landing. But it also has the trims on it. This would be your aileron trim, as well as all sorts of craziness. You got all these buttons that you can bind and do fun things with. So Definitely a lot better than this old Saytech 45 that needs to be retired. It still works, but you know, not always the best. So, with that being said, I wanted to show you one little thing that we were going to fly to. Currently, if you guys are interested, what I was going to do is show, I've kind of put myself into a little bit of a predicament when I was flying this afternoon, because again, I was trying to find the Hurricane. So I wanted to share with you guys what I got going on here in Microsoft Flight Simulator just for a couple of seconds. So, well, what happened? What had happened was is that I took off out of Dallas, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna chase this hurricane down, you know, fly as fast as I humanly possibly can, and stress the plane all the hell, and just try and get there so I can see the hurricane again, and I can show my viewers, and blah blah blah. And yeah, well, that was a terrible idea. So I was like, all right, why don't we go to Miami? You know, it's not too far away from Dallas or anything like that. I mean, couple hour flight, you can put the autopilot on, you can just hit a couple switches, turn a couple dials, and you're good to go. Yeah, that was a terrible idea too, because on my trip out to the hurricane, well, I was going full blast as fast as I humanly possibly can. And what I was actually doing was I was doing the little bit of the sine wave here. So if you're flying up and down, you can actually increase your speed slightly, more than the plane is actually supposed to do, at least in real life. So here I am blasting 550 knots pretty much all the way to the hurricane, not realizing what I was actually doing was burning a boatload of fuel, like tons of fuel. So where I am now, I think I have like, what is it, 7% fuel left, I think is what I got left. And I basically had to go and declare an emergency, because I'm like, yeah, I ain't got no fuel left, so I guess we need to land this puppy. So that's where we'll pick up from this afternoon. Again, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I highly recommend it. And if you don't have the Xbox Game Pass or PC, it is worth the $2 to get this game. So let's see what we're doing here. Again, as you can see, my airspeed coming in way hot. The airplane, or there it is. I can see the airport right now. I have 0 thrust going on right now, so I'm hoping that I can slow this guy down before we actually have to land. But 7% fuel is not a thing that you want. Yeah, I know overspeed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just shh. Flaps. Oh, I do have speed brakes. All right, cool. I didn't know I had speed brakes. That makes things a lot easier. All right, let's put those up 100%. Put the gear down. Give it a little more. Disengage speed brakes now. Give it flaps 1. Go back to the inside of the cabin here. All right, now one qualm that I have with Microsoft Flight Simulator is I don't know whose height what midget they measured to get the actual seating on this though, but every time I play this silly game, I always have to hit spacebar and then arrow down a little bit so you can get the right height. Oops, see? No. There we go. Okay, way too high. Let's pull back on this. If you didn't know, the 4 lights on the left-hand side are to show you if you are too high or too low to the runway. Currently, 4 white lights mean that I'm way too high. And I am actually coming in way too hot. So I'm going to hit flaps, 30-degree flaps here. Yeah, still way too high. And coming in, not terribly slow. And there we are. All right, a little slam on the nose there, you know, not terrible, but a little slam. Using the brakes here. All right, yeah. And then you gotta talk back and forth to the air traffic control, which is really awesome. Put the flaps back up. We will taxi on over to our parking area here. Alright, 121.725 for Cessna 999.
Going to 121.725 Cessna 999. Ground Cessna Zulu Zulu.
Now you can actually take all of the guides off for taxiing and stuff like that. Yes, general aviation taxiing. Got it. Thank you.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway
Which
Alpha
this,
Cessna
what they call the taxi ribbon, is what I'm following now, which is the blue one. You can actually get rid of that too, and literally have to look at the signs, because if you don't know anything about airplanes or taxiing or anything like that, there's signs on the side of the taxiway here. Let's see if they have it. Depending on what airport you're at, you know, obviously with this thing we might not necessarily have taxi markers, because, well, there's only literally one. Yeah, see, so there's one over there saying that that's runway 10, I think, or no, runway 18, that's what it is. So what happens if you taxi at 90 knots? Actually nothing, which is kind of funny. And I did that the other day. I landed in where the hell did I land? Oh, I was in Houston. Was it Houston? Oh no, it was Atlanta. That's right. Went to Atlanta, Hartsfield, and I landed on, I think it was 26 left, and the taxi was like 2 nautical miles away from where I needed to be. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a bunch of horse manure, so let me just fly down the runway here. And yeah, they don't care. They apparently don't care. The neat thing is, though, if there's a plane that's coming in to actually land, it will tell you to hold at runway, one of the runways, like at the entrance. Another cool thing is this guy here is telling me actually which way I need to go. So it's saying that I need to give the left engine a little bit more thrust, or the right engine. There we go. Now we're center. And you'll actually see him wave his arms up and then put them in an X for where I'm supposed to stop, which is right about there. All right, and now he's telling me turn off engine number 1, which is that one. Turn off 1. Turn off 2. Yep, and then as soon as you turn off both engines, he actually ends up going away. But it was pretty cool to actually see, you know, that you can get your plane all the way to here and then have, I mean, let's see if they'll actually do the ground services. Okay, they'll do fuel resupply.
Could you please send a fuel truck?
Of course not. Of course there's no fuel truck, because you got 5% fuel and you forgot to fill up before you left, dumbass. Anyways, so yeah, you can actually make the airplane, if you land at like another airport that has the walkway and different services like the catering services and all that type of stuff, you can actually go to ground services and select them. And they'll bring all the bags up to the plane and unload it, and then load up your catering if you wanted to do that. They have a tug and a pushback and all sorts of stuff. But it's pretty cool. Like when a bus drives by and you're relatively close to it, and the bus is not supposed to obviously interfere with the plane, they'll yield to you, which is kind of cool. You know, again, I thought that this was really neat. The fact that you can pretty much do anything that a normal pilot would inside of an airplane, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. That will pretty much conclude my Microsoft Flight Simulator, tizzy for this afternoon. Can you order a burger and a beer? No, you got to do that at home, because then your lady can help you with that. You can say, hey, honey, a stewardess, please, if you wouldn't mind. I'd like an adult beverage and a jalapeno burger, please. And theoretically, if you're on good terms, you might actually get it. If you're on bad terms, you're probably sleeping on the couch. Again, you know, it all depends. All depends. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today on the ModMyMods news update. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you guys just for a short little bit of time. We'll have a little bit more information about what's going on with the new 30 series cards or 3000 series cards. I also have an update on the Star Wars build that we're putting together and all sorts of good stuff. So remember, if you guys are looking here, actually what I will do is I will post this or blast this one more time just before we go. And where is it? There it is. We go here. Be sure to check out Chili. Oops, no, that's not the one you want. No, you don't want that one. You want this one. That's the one you want. Jeez. If you go to Chili Mountain, they have a Valorant tournament going on. Wow, that's a tongue twister. This weekend on Saturday, if you want to participate and win some cool stuff, go to their Instagram on their link tree, and you can click the Valorant Tournament and sign up. Again, 33 teams registered to play. That's pretty damn cool. That's pretty awesome. That's a lot of people, so that should be fun. That should be good fun, and hopefully I'll be able to swing by and make a quick appearance, you know, as mods, and you know, talk to you guys as everyone is playing, and you know, we'll go from there. So other than that, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again for everyone that's joined us in the chat. You know, Tony, Sid, Maven, Kaylin, Timmy P. I didn't even see it. Didn't even see you, Mr. Thermal Take Tim himself. Hey, did you end up going and robbing Thermal Take while you were there for me? They never got back to me. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather out there. Stay safe, and we will see you next week.